So, talking today about how you can build up your team's unity. And again, I'm talking to players, I'm talking to coaches, and I'm talking to parents. So, number one, I think it's so important for your player to have a good youth soccer experience that they need to be on a team that really wants to grow and really wants to have the same goals. Whatever those goals may be, it's important to have unity because if not, it's just going to be a frustrating experience. So I wanted to key in on it because I think if you have a really good team cohesion, it makes it so much more, so it makes the journey and the process so much more enjoyable. So I want to talk about number one, what you can do as a player, what you can do if you're a coach, and what you, if you're a parent listening to this, can do to help build up team unity and team cohesion. So number one, if you're a player, there's obviously several things that you can go on, but I think the most important thing that literally any player at any level and at any standing within the team can do, and that's be a player who is encouraging. Be a player who is an optimist. I'm not saying you sugarcoat everything. I think you can still speak truth to your teammates, but you do it in a way that you're helping everybody to refocus and re-energize on what they need to get done. I'll give you an example. I had a teammate not too long ago. I was playing on a summer team, a semi-pro team, and he told me after the end of the year, and he was like, Taylor, it was so fun playing with you because you were honestly so encouraging. You were always trying to build everybody up. You're always trying to keep everybody together, which was the truth. There were several times when things would get heated. Obviously, this is a semi-pro level. There's a lot of guys who were used to doing things at a certain level, and people would get after each other and snipe at each other, and sometimes get into arguments. Sometimes that would lead to fight, and I would try to be somebody who would play the role of the peacemaker. Not that I was trying to act like I was better than anybody, but I knew that it was really important for us to be able to move forward, to be united. And I'm not saying that I did that perfectly, but on this team, I tried to be someone who would encourage teammates, try to be someone who would be real with everybody so that they knew that I wasn't going to attack them, but rather be somebody who was going to help them. So number one, if you're a player and you're watching this, what you can do is have that role. So if you're a player and you want to grow the team unity, make sure you're someone who encourages and lifts other people up, not always seeking to have your own glory, but to be the person who said, I want this team to be able to reach its full potential. So number two, now talking to coaches, if you want to be able to build unity on your team. I've read several different coaching books about what's the best way to do this, and everybody has different things. I've had some coaches where they've tried to make themselves kind of the common enemy. So they would kind of set themselves apart, and they would say like, hey, well, we're not really competing against each other. We're competing against a coach that's annoying and it's unfair, and I understand why that coach did that, and I understand where he's coming from, and that may have worked for some of his teams in the past. But I personally rather have, instead of trying to build unity by being divisive, or rather build unity by being a lightning rod, I'd rather be someone who is continuing trying to bring people together without having to have a root of it being divisive. And I think the best is how do you motivate people? If you're a coach that is motivating people by yelling and screaming and fear and by discipline, I think in the future, most people aren't going to really, they're going to end up tuning you out. So if you're constantly someone who's trying to demean them and saying you're not good enough or this or that, in the end, people are going to tune out. Some people may want to say, hey, I want to prove you wrong. But a lot of people are going to just say, you know what, forget that. I don't want to be around a coach. Yeah, he's right. I don't want to be around a coach who's constantly trying to pull me down and tear me down. Instead, I think what builds unity is how you motivate people with the phrase that comes to mind is giving someone a carrot rather than the stick. So maybe the rod may get somebody to get moving and to move forward. But when you encourage somebody with giving them the praises and saying, hey, what you did there, it was awesome. That was incredible. Now I need you to do a little bit more of this, or I need you to focus a little bit more, but I don't want to not show like how much you're improving in this aspect of your game. Another quick story. I think of what Coach Wooden, John Wooden, has said in the past. He learned it from his father. He saw his father be able to motivate a donkey who was plowing a field for him through quiet words of encouragement rather than the field hand that was helping out, who was trying to berate them and hit the donkey and trying to get it to go further, when the donkey just ended up kind of digging in its heels and just said, nope, I don't want to do this anymore. And I think that taught Coach Wooden like how you approach anything, anybody will show you how you're going to get results. For a while, you may get some sort of result by breaking people down, but in the end, they're not going to perform as well as if you're encouraging people through kind words, through talking to them and really respecting them. So if you're a coach, it comes down to how do you respect your players? And then finally, parents. And I know coaches and players really want you to understand this. If you are a parent and you are a vital member of the team, even if you don't feel like you're out there, you obviously are taking them to practice. Obviously, you're putting in your resources to be able to help the player and help the team be able to perform at the very best. But what you say and what you do can help pull apart a team and tear down team cohesion. So what does that mean? When you're a parent, what you say matters on the ride home. Oh, so-and-so was so bad out there. You should be playing more than her, or you should be playing more than him. Or what was your coach thinking out there? He should have made this substitution, or he shouldn't have done this, or he shouldn't have done that. Or even just on the sideline, what are you doing? Are you yelling, screaming at the refs? Again, I still go to youth games and I still see parents just screaming, yelling, and berating the refs. And it really doesn't do anything. It doesn't help your team to play better. And really, it just makes your players saying, well, my mom and dad are on the sideline just screaming at the ref. So why do I need to show them any respect? Why do I need to take what they say for granted? Because my parents, it doesn't matter to the parents. So what I would do is understand what you say matters. What you do matters on the sideline. So if you're on the sidelines or if you're on the drive home, no matter what you feel, no matter what you feel like saying in that moment, just hold off, right? Just let your player know, hey, I love watching you play today. Did you have fun? Right? Again, final story. I think not too long ago when I saw this post on Facebook or maybe Instagram of a soccer mom talking about saying, hey, my wife tells our two young soccer players, just ask them two things after they get off the field. Did you have fun? And I love watching you play. And that's it. And her wife was actually Abby Wambach. So if Abby Wambach, one of the greatest players of all time in the history of our sport, can literally be able to stand back and say, I'm not going to say anything except something that is encouraging my youth players and helping them to enjoy and have their own journey in this sport, I think you can do the same thing. No matter how frustrated or how in the right you may feel, it's important for you just to be able to take a step back. So hopefully with those ideas, so players, parents, coaches, those three people, if you can just build unity with those, just one simple change, I think players, parents, coaches will have a much more enjoyable time if each of them make one small change with their attitude. Let me know if you agree.